Lesson 7 is about the opposite of a number and simplifying more difficult expressions. On a number line, -2 lies on the opposite side of the origin being 0, and is exactly the same distance from the origin. Thus we think of +2 as being the opposite of -2, and -2 as being the opposite of +2. Complicated expressions such as this can be simplified by using algebraic addition and the concept of opposites. Begin by enclosing the numbers to be added and writing a plus sign between the enclosures. Okay, that's one way to do it. What we want to do is say this is the opposite of -4, therefore it should be a +4, plus the opposite of 2, that's a -2 or a -2, plus the opposite of -6, so that's plus a +6. I have two positive numbers here. They add up to 10, and I have one negative number. We subtract their absolute values and give them the sign of the numbers that had the greater absolute value. That was the 10, so our answer is 8. Okay, these are the practice problems from Lesson 7. I'm going to do this the same way. Every time I have a double negative in front of a number, it becomes a positive. The opposite of -3 is +3. We don't put the plus sign in the beginning. It's just we know that if there's no sign, it is a positive number. Here we have to put a plus sign in, and it's plus the opposite of -4, which is +4. Every time we get an even number of negatives in front of a number, that makes it a positive number. And this would then be equal to +7, and that would be our answer. Okay, I want plus a -5. I just have one negative in front of that. 1 is an odd number, so I just have -5. And here I have plus the opposite of -6, and the opposite of -6 is +6. Okay, I have a negative and a positive. I subtract their absolute values. The absolute value of -5 is +5. I get a 1, and I give my answer the sign of the original number that has the greatest absolute value, and that would be the 6. Okay, these now are getting a little harder. The opposite of +6 is -6. One negative. 1 is an odd number. That means that this is a negative. Two negatives in front of 8 means that I'm going to replace the double negative with a plus, and 8 is positive. There's nothing here, so we just rewrite +7. Two negatives in front of the 3 means I'm going to rewrite it with a plus sign. This pen is giving me a little trouble today, and it's going to be +3. Okay, and then plus -5. One negative makes it a -5. I'm going to add my negative numbers. 6 and 5 are both negative. They add up to -11. I can cross them out now. And then I have 8 plus 7 plus 3. I'm going to add those. 8 plus 7 is 15. 15 plus 3 is 18. So I have -11 and 18 that I'm adding together. Okay, I need now to look at the fact that I have a negative and a positive. I take their absolute values, both will be positive, and I subtract those absolute values. I get the difference, and I get 7 from this. The original number 18 was a positive. That would have the greater absolute value, so my answer is positive 7. Again, let's count negatives to see what we have. 1, 2, we have a positive 3. 2 is an even number. Whenever you have an even number of negatives, the number is positive. 1, 2, 3, that's an odd number. 4 is negative. 1, 2, and I have a positive 6, so I'll just leave the plus sign there. I have two positives, 3 and 6. I'll add those together, and I get 9. I have 9 and negative 4. That's an old-fashioned subtraction. That means I have a positive 5. That's the end of the lesson 7 problems.